should we just open up the floor? Are there any other questions for any of the speakers? I think we've covered everything in the chat, but any other questions or comments?
So maybe to Josh, I just wanted to find out, because obviously, you know, CBD is now sort of the acceptable face of medical cannabis. So, I mean, what precautions need to be put in place? I know that the EU has already started putting rowing back, I think, on CBD, and we always thought it was the better of, you know, of the two.
Yes, that's a great question. So can you hear me okay? I hope you can.
Yes.
Of course, I'm coming from the point of view of potential drug interactions. Because it's a time-dependent inhibitor of many of the enzymes, what we've done is ask the question, at what dose would those interactions basically dissipate completely? And it depends on the enzyme that you're looking at. So that's why I put in my slide that you really have to be as little as 5 milligrams of CBD or lower to basically eliminate, predicted based upon our PBPK model, any interactions with any of the CYP enzymes that we have studied. So that's a pretty low dose, because a lot of people are taking, 20 milligrams, 40 milligrams, etc. Also, some people take CBD with THC. And as you saw, there is an interaction with THC as well, increasing the pharmacodynamic effect of THC. And also, I didn't speak about this, but the Johns Hopkins group has parsed out, like the pleasant effects versus unpleasant effects. And the unpleasant effects of THC also go up in many of the subjects that were in this clinical trial. So I think there's a lot of caution that we should exercise in terms of people taking CBD over the counter as part of, for example, hemp products. And of course, they're unregulated in the United States. I don't know whether they're regulated in other countries or not, but in the United States, they're unregulated, and you can just go into your regular grocery store and just buy CBD oils and all sorts of CBD products that you can consume orally. So there's a considerable possibility here that you would have a drug interaction with conventional medicine, and it depends on which enzyme is being which enzyme is involved in the metabolism of that drug. But yeah, I think the caution needs to be applied here, and hopefully once we publish our data, which we hope to do soon, one of the papers has already been submitted for publication in terms of the pharmacodynamic effect of CBD and THC. And then the CYP cocktail interaction study is being written up right now for publication. So hopefully by the end of this year, beginning of next year, those will be out. And in those papers, we'll be sounding a note of caution about potential drug interactions.
Okay. So at least maybe just to give you a perspective, in Southern Africa, which is the one that is mostly put in place, or at least legalized, cannabis and cannabis medicines, CBD would still come through as an over-the-counter medicine, so you can't really get it in a grocery store. At least there's that provision that you can only get it in a pharmacy. But we have the exemption notice in South Africa, where the highest you can get would be 20 milligrams and no more than that.
I see. Yeah. So here, all sorts of doses are available, and it's really hard to pin down what people are taking. But doing a sort of a survey on the internet and just looking at people just posting things about what they're taking all sorts of doses. I mean, some of them are taking pretty high doses, and some of them are taking relatively low doses. but a 20 milligram dose is pretty standard in some of the products that we've seen that are sold in a grocery store.
Yeah. And then I just had a question, Amy, for Victoria. Green tea has been overstudied. Every other sort of paper on green tea or every other paper on tea is, would be on green tea. But how popular is it as a regular beverage?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's very popular because although I'm not showing data, but there's a publication that actually looks at sales of herbal supplements in some channels here in the US, and at their 2020 publication, it was at number 11 or 13 position. I might be mistaken. So it's actually increasing because people are looking at it not just for its taste, it's also they're trying to see if they can harness the pharmacodynamic part. And so even for clinical studies, it's been widely investigated because people are looking at it for conditions like hypertension or diabetes or cancer.
Antioxidants, inflammation.
Yeah, so that's why even in those conditions, people will be taking regular medicine, and that's why there's the potential for this drug interaction. So it's there, it's being consumed, maybe not as high as like something like CBD, but it's very popular as well.
Okay. All right. So over to you then, Amy.
Sure. I think we're ready to wrap up for the day, and I'd really just like to once again thank all of our speakers. I know it was early on the West Coast of the United States, and so we greatly appreciate your joining us so early. And then for those of you in Africa, I know it was during your commute and you're ready to start your evenings with your families. So we again thank you for your attendance. David, did you have any concluding comments you want to make, or talk about the organizations that sponsor these webinars?
Yes, thank you very much, Amy. Thanks for jumping in and being the moderator and bringing together a fantastic panel. Yes, so we have a few organizations behind this. So in particular, the Association of African Medicinal Plant Standards is really the one that's key to trying to grow this industry in Africa and also make sure that there's safe access to herbals and also to African ingredients. So we do hold a whole series of these webinars, not just on herbs, by the way, because then we also have another organization, which is the PharmaConnect Africa, where we work, to bring, the last one, for instance, was ensuring botanical safety, which then gave birth to this one. So we do have a YouTube channel where we curate all of this. So this particular webinar, we're going to edit it, and in another 10 days, we will load it on there. So you can go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, share whatever, resources we have. So we do have focal points around cannabis. So that was why it was particularly interesting to hear about the interaction, because it's a sunrise industry for us in Africa. And then we've talked about neglected foods, or so-called neglected foods. We also do talk about more pharmaceutical things, such as, the Medicines Agency we've spoken about, as well as COVID. And then these are just past events that we've had. So the herbal medicine safety was earlier on, radiopharmaceuticals. So we welcome your participation in future events. And if you have ideas of topics that you would like to present, this is a great forum. And I'm glad that between Helen and Amy, we are now having this cross-Atlantic relationship, which I think for us is very important. So yeah, I'll hand over to Helen was really the power behind organizing this series of herbal medicine, botanical medicine webinars. Helen?
Thank you, David. I hope all can hear me. And thank you so much, Amy, for keep picking up and really helping to make this a huge success. It was a wonderful session, and I really thank the speakers for making time to be here and to give their great presentations. And also just to say that we actually hope that we can continue another session in the near future to have some more information on herb-drug interaction. And I welcome participation and look forward to continuing this series. I think it's really informative and educative and helps to connect Africa with the North. And this is what we are hoping that we'll be able to achieve through this, to have conversation going, but also to have people connect with each other in doing the work that we are trying to do through collaboration. Because as we know, nobody can do things alone by themselves. We all have to learn that we need to identify people who think the same and want to do the same work, and then we can share the resources and do the work together. So again, thank you so much, everyone, David, Amy, and all the presenters.
Yes, and actually we are working towards a formal physical conference. So all of you are welcome to South Africa in April sometime. So we'll send out invitations, and it will be much bigger audience because it will be a combination of the pharmaceutical guys and herbal guys. So back to you, Amy, to wrap. Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks everyone, and have a great day and evening, and please join the mailing list to hear about more of these webinars. Take care, everyone.
Thank you very much. All right, bye.